Welcome, friends. I'm Dr. Rajshri Nabujapad, and
Hey.
today we're going to dive into one of the most controversial diets on the internet, the carnivore diet and its impact on the gut microbiome.
Okay. All right. So right off the bat, as we saw here, she's talking about the impact that a carnivore diet has on the gut microbiome, and the carnivore diet is trash. Obviously you should know that by now, hopefully, but what she's going to talk about is how it impacts your gut microbiome. So if you're not 100% sure what the gut microbiome is, it's basically like this other world that lives inside your intestine. And they have bacteria, viruses, fungi. There's a bunch of different organisms that live inside your microbiome, and they help with digestion. They help with immune support. It's almost called like the second immune system, right? It helps with inflammation control, metabolism, weight regulation. So if you have struggles with losing weight and maintaining a healthy weight, it's not always about exercise and diet. Sometimes this is what's going on in your gut. And also, it talks to your brain a lot. There's lots of communication between your intestine and your brain to kind of see what's going on with the body. But enough from me. Let's let her continue.
Impact on the gut microbiome. In my practice, I specialize in the gut microbiome, and I help patients with all types of digestive symptoms. So testing the gut microbiome is something I do every day in my practice.
So she's basically letting y'all know that she's goated. Like, this is what she does. She deals with the gut microbiome, and she does this all the time, okay?
Have you ever wondered what happens to the gut microbiome when you go on a carnivore diet and
So right off the bat, you can see here at Carnivore, there's no plants. Big problem.
eliminate all plant foods?
Bad idea.
So no fruits,
Bad
no
idea.
vegetables,
Bad idea.
no grains,
Bad idea.
zero fiber.
Bad idea.
Just meat and animal products for months or even a year or longer. So can the carnivore diet truly heal chronic illnesses?
Nope.
Or does it quietly damage the gut microbiome?
Yep.
Online, opinions are extreme. Some claim it's the cure for everything from bloating to autoimmune disease. While others warn that it could wreck your microbiome and increase your long-term disease risk.
So you'll see all kind of stuff online, people claiming it does this or that. You even get doctors signed off on this stuff. I'm sure there's a reason why they're signing off on this. But anyway, I'm going to fast forward a little bit, and I want her to kind of introduce what she's going to do here. Just in here, I'm going to go to about right there.
We've been taught says fiber is essential for feeding our gut bacteria and producing postbiotics like butyrate, which fuel and protect the colon.
All right.
So what really happens to your gut microbiome when you go carnivore? Well, let me show you.
So she's going to go through she's going to go through a patient who was on the carnivore diet, and then she's going to run some labs and things, and we're going to talk about that here.
My first patient is a 19-year-old woman with Hashimoto's hypothyroidism and a long history of gastrointestinal symptoms with bloating,
Yeah, some of y'all probably
and a
noticed.
complicated relationship with
some
food.
of y'all probably have those same issues.
As a teenager, she battled anorexia and was using laxatives and Teas. In more recent years, she was diagnosed multiple times with intestinal methanogen.
All right, so she's going to get into the weeds a little bit here. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. And what I want to do is I want to get to the point to where we start talking about her lab results, because that's the stuff that's important here for this video.
Test. And this is what it showed. Her fecal fat was high normal, suggesting her body wasn't digesting fat sufficiently. And
so, well, I'll let her play.
The carnivore diet is high in fat. Her calprotectin.
So again, the first one they were talking about was the fecal fat, okay? And it's too much. Okay, this is basically saying there's too much fat in the feces when that stuff should have been digested, processed, and used somehow by the body. But there's way too much fat. Okay, when you eat a bunch of meat, there's going to be fat, and a lot of it's going to be saturated fat that's going to spike your heart disease risk. Okay, it's going to increase your belly fat, your visceral fat. So again, too much fat in the stool. And then now she's talking about calprotectin here.
Body wasn't digesting fat sufficiently. And obviously the carnivore diet is high in fat. Her calprotectin, a serious marker of inflammation, was elevated at 259.
So again, one of the things that you'll see online, people will say that, oh, it's the master reduction in it helps with reducing inflammation. It's the master at that. I went on the carnivore diet and my inflammation went down, yada, 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 right? But right off the bat, the calprotectin marker is super high. We're supposed to be less than 50. We're looking at 259. Now, what she didn't discuss in this little lab is you can also see that her cholesterol, this is another thing they'll say, oh, it doesn't affect your cholesterol, or cholesterol is not a big deal. Well, cholesterol is another one that's through the roof. We're supposed to be no more than 4.8 micrograms, or is that milligrams? I don't know. Oh, yeah, this is milligrams here. But she's at 12.1. Big problems, all right? Red flags all over the place.
Which is a red flag. Calprotectin is a marker of inflammation that can be associated with inflammatory bowel disease, which is Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Yep.
Now, she did have an endoscopy and colonoscopy recently, which were normal. But remember, these scopes don't visualize most of Caulobacter.
I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. Here we go.
In addition, she had a bacterial imbalance, which we call dysbiosis. Her microbiome test showed that she had undetectable lactobacillus, which is a good bacteria, as well as Oxalobacter.
All right, so I don't know what that was on the video, but what this is showing that her good bacteria. So again, there's bad bacteria. That's the stuff that makes you sick and ill. But there's also good bacteria that help your body do things, fight infections, right? Reduce inflammation, things like that. So what this is showing is that her levels of the good bacteria is too low. You couldn't even see it. It didn't even show up into the test. So as it says here, it was undetectable. And this is the good bacteria. Okay, so now we got the carnivore diet that increases your cholesterol, it increases your inflammation, and it reduces your good bacteria. Too many red flags. All right, we got one more test result to see, and then we're going to be done here.
Oxalobacter is the bacteria in our gut that helps us break down oxalates, which is present in spinach or chard. So after a year of not eating any plant foods, these essential bacteria had vanished. Now let's look at her gut microbiome metabolites, which are postbiotics made by the bacteria in her gut. At the top, I put a reminder on how our gut makes postbiotics.
So what she's saying is, this is another test to see what her postbiotic numbers look like. And postbiotics are basically the result of your gut bacteria, your gut bacteria eating the foods that they need. The gut bacteria, they love to eat fiber and plant material, right? And after they get done eating that stuff up, you'll see a certain level of postbiotics in these types of tests. So what they're showing here is that the levels are low, which means that the good bacteria in her gut is not getting the food it needs. It's not healthy. That's what we're learning right here. So again, the whole point of this little walkthrough is just kind of to show you that don't believe the hype that you see online. Go to the data, and the data is easy to find. And you can just go to me, the Human Diet Coach, eat more plants. See y'all next time.